The year was 2001. By this point, Sega had bowed out of the console race entirely after the Dreamcast failed to meet expectations, and with this transition to becoming a third-party publisher, they decided to finally bury the hatchet with one of their strongest adversaries.
Eggman.
That's right! I'm the actual owner of Nintendo!
You thought it was Bowser, but it was actually me!
My Chaos Emerald says so!
That's an incredible story there. Zip, we're tackling, No, this is Sega saying, no, the Game Gear never happened. What the hell are you talking about? No. This is the first true Sonic, portable experience.
Well, technically not the first, but it's definitely the first one that they've done with Nintendo's help, anyway. Because, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sonic Advance.
You lied to me. This was supposed to be Sonic Superstars Beta.
Oh, you're right, because it does feature the...
No, that's Sonic 4 Episode 1.
Oh.
The beta that came 20 years in the making. Jesus.
Yes. Oh, good. So, what's the dealio, James? How are we handling this puppy?
Well, first and foremost, Sonic Advance gives you the privilege of being able to play as 4 separate characters. You got Sonic the Hedgehog, Miles Tails Prower, Knuckles the Echidna, and Amy Rose, making your very first playable appearance in a 2D Sonic-esque game.
Good thing you said 2D.
Well, that being said, this is primarily going to be a Sonic adventure, Kish.
Okay.
And I will be going through all 7x or so of the game, while also having Miles Tails Prower by my side, through the use of a input code that's pretty much been taking up room in my brain since my childhood.
I see.
Oh, really? What's that?
Well, on the character select screen, you press up, right, down, right, L button right, and R button right, and then select Sonic. And then once you hear that little ring sound effect, that means you're able to have Tails by your side.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, there's really not much of a reason to have Tails by your side in this game, aside from, he can probably score a couple hits on Eggman for you when you have to fight him.
Oh, that's sick, then. Okay.
Yeah.
Assuming there's not a tight invincibility.
Yeah, this is unfortunately before the, what I like to call the Taxman era of Sonic, where they actually decided to bring that whole element from Sonic 3, where 2 players could actually allow Sonic and Tails to latch onto each other.
Darn.
Yeah.
Well, for now, we are already in the first stage, as we're attempting to see if we can find a very important MacGuffin.
Yep, one of the 7 Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah.
And I really hope and I'm trying my damnedest not to screw it up this time.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I believe in you.
I mean, no one can fault you, because these boogers tend to be in obscure places.
Yep, and it doesn't help either that I'm technically playing as a character that can't fly.
Yes, but...
That's true. So basically the context is that, sort of similar to, the Sonic 3, you have to explore the level a bit to basically get your entrance into the special stage. However, they're not quite as generous as, the giant rings in Sonic 3. Here, there's only one of them in each stage.
Right.
Yep.
And even then, it's a matter of, they're only in very specific acts. For example, the first Chaos Emerald you only find in Neo Green Hill Act 1.
Dang.
If you approach it from a very specific area...
Huh.
For example, if you're playing a Sonic, you gotta take this rail.
If you can get there,
There it goes.
Not quite as smooth as it would be in the sequels.
Agreed. Ow.
And avoid the Buzz Bomber if you can help it.
Yep. Oh,
Gotta
I
love
saw
the screen
it.
crunch.
Yeah, I saw it up there.
I think if you...
Oh, the heck with that. I was hoping not to do this, but I'm gonna have to call upon Chaos Control.
But I see that. It's a blind jump.
You gotta kill that Beeb first.
If I even
Come on.
can.
Nope. No,
Yeah,
that
it's also just a matter of that you can even get that spring to come right down.
I'm also just looking at that, that platform is moving, so I don't know if it'll...
The screen crunch.
There you go.
Oh,
Oh,
there you
my
go.
gosh.
Sheesh, there we go.
That is a tight-ass jump.
It is.
Again, wouldn't be a problem if I was playing as either Tails or Knuckles. But Sonic, I'm just gonna have to make do with what I got.
So, welcome to the special stage.
So, in Sonic Advance's special stage, you pretty much go tumbling down on your cool little surfboard, while also grabbing whatever rings are along the way.
Okay, so it's similar to the half-pipe stages, but
Not really.
now in... Well, I mean, half-pipe and then we have to collect enough rings to pass a certain goal point.
I was mostly going with the whole, it's like that, but it's not.
Yeah.
Yes, but actually, no.
It's like that, but with a whole new perspective. That's gonna likely confuse a lot of people playing this game.
Yeah, I
Oh,
could
yeah.
see this easily disorienting people.
Here we go. Nice. So, do you ever need to, like... Good. So, do you ever need to, like, go, like, in the middle, or is it just, like, just hold all the way in that direction and you'll be, you know, taken care of?
What do you mean?
Like, to get these rings that are coming on the left, you
Oh,
have to
you think
hold
there's
left
like
all
some
the way
bounce
to
backs
reach them?
through
or...
the middle?
You have to aim very, very specifically in order to actually grab those rings. Again, perspective is probably going to be your greatest enemy in this whole thing.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
otherwise,
yes, it
I'd
will.
say these special stages aren't too bad.
That little
Okay.
thing that you just passed, like, what do you have to do to, you know, trigger that nice technique that you just did?
You have to press the B button just as you're passing through it in order for it to count. It's very easy to time it too early or too late and not and have the game considered a failure.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh!
Thanks, Tails.
Jeez, almost landed on my head.
Yeah. I think if you were playing as anyone other than Sonic, Sonic would actually be flying that plane for the other player.
Yep,
I mean, it is his.
it is technically his plane, so that totally makes sense. Otherwise, he just has Tails fly for him.
Yep.
Alright.
Tails,
There
oh,
you
there it
go.
is.
And now that you've seen me play through a special stage, I'm not going to promise I'll find the other ones, because, I mean, as you no doubt saw, I'm using a complete save file, I already have all the emeralds, I kind of just want to do this just for a breather's sake.
Yeah.
And those springs are a pain in the ass to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Especially when there's only one in each world as opposed to one in each act.
And say if we're, you know, comparing the other games of the trilogy, this is the easiest method of actually getting the Chaos Emeralds, period.
Lovely.
And that's depressing.
Oh boy.
So I guess I want to ask, because, you know, it's not often that we actually have Mecha, like, vocally joining us for one of these videos. He's usually prone to being the silent killer. What would you say is your experience with Sonic Advance?
It's kind of mid-ground. It's like, don't really see it as a bad game, but also if you're wanting to complete it like James did, it's certainly going to be a hell of a time.
But you have some history with it, I assume.
Yep. Oof, that'd be nearly got you.
Jeez.
Those damn buzz bombers always get the snipe on me.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm curious. I feel like maybe you already asked before, but you know, you mean my memory. Was this one of your first Sonic games?
Oh, no, I grew up with a Genesis.
That's fair. That is fair.
I mean, as my mom usually likes to joke about, I came out with a Genesis controller.
Oh no, I couldn't enjoy this vacation without that blue rodent always popping up at the worst time possible.
What the? Man, I can't have nothing in this house!
Apologies, Mech. I completely forgot that he just comes out swinging immediately, like escalating with, "I'm gonna smash you."
Whoop!
That's it, I'm getting me mallet!
Oh no, you broke me, Mallet.
Some mallet, huh, Egghead?
Shut up.
Oh, Tails?
Tails!
Oh, there it is.
on
Is it
my
possi-
on my
Is it possible to accidentally die if you're, like, happen to be under that with no rings?
No, the game the game is very merciful in that. You only do that if you want to goof.
yeah,
Okay.
just
I don't even think that it makes you lose rings as well.
good.
Nah, it doesn't.
On our end, because of the limited frame rate of a Discord screen capture, you know, it did that thing where, like, you know, the sprite flickering isn't, you know, entirely present. So on my end, Tails just disappeared, like he literally just
Yeah.
and just got squished under the thing.
You just got squished all Looney Tunes style.
Right, like off the top of my head, the only thing I can think of is, and I forget which Mario and Luigi game it was, but it was the one where Luigi gets jumped on and gets and just gets
Oh,
like
that's
landed
a Superstar
on.
Saga.
That was Superstar Saga. Okay.
Like, is it like where, like, you jump up Luigi and you can, like, get a coin out of him while he's acting like he got punched in the balls?
It was something where like he suddenly got like he got squished down to the floor or something.
Okay, yeah,
What
that's still
was that?
Superstar Saga.
Okay.
Right. That was the one where, like, depending on the bro you were, like, you either, you know, bury Luigi into the ground or you turn Mario into a midget.
Gotcha.
Well, more of a midget than he already is.
Right.
So,
Freaking Peter Dinklage ass plumber.
So I guess another thing,
Sorry. Go ahead.
because I don't know if it's like a guarantee he might join us for if we plan on redoing the other games, because even then I'm not sure if it's a guarantee that we'll touch the other games eventually. But have you played any of the other Sonic Advance games?
Nope, and from what I've been seeing, it's like it's kind of been a bit of a blessing for a completionist.
Yeah, for completionist sake, I can agree with you there, but I'll admit, I at least have enough of a soft spot for the sequel that I'm tempted to go back to that one at the very least.
I remember the team building mechanic being a neat idea, but if I'm correct, they didn't do enough with it or something. Like the one where like you get different benefits depending on who partners up with who.
Oh yeah, that's Advance 3.
Right, and I mean, it was a cool idea. Unfortunately, it didn't help that game also had probably the worst level design in a 2D Sonic.
Yeah.
Right.
Crushers, spikes, and enemies galore.
Oh my.
Unless if you get all the boost packs you can stomach.
Oh, so would Advance 3 be like... Would Advance 3 be to that what many people thought Forces? Like, what was the issue of, like, levels becoming more automated and just, you know, you get to a boost pad and that's it?
You mean
like, that's the
Sonic
levels.
4?
Yeah, I was about to say, because
Yes.
I don't know if it's as blamed about as it is with Forces, but yeah, I would say it's fairly close to what Sonic 4 becomes, which is kind of funny considering that the Advance Trilogy and Sonic 4 were made by the same people.
I'd argue that Sonic Advance 2 was kind of the catalyst of that, but 3 is unfortunately the point where they have that and all the really obnoxious, like, obstacle placement.
Yeah. Especially how tight the screen can be, especially for a running platformer.
Right.
But yeah, no, I mean, I guess it's kind of a funny thing about it, too, considering that you got the first game, which is about as true to the Genesis games as you can get, and then you got Advance 2, which is, you know, a far cry in both the best and worst ways. And then you got the third game, which kind of just took the best away from the second game and made it slightly worse. And I don't care if there's fans out there that think it's the best in the trilogy. You guys are freaking crazy.
Curse you, game developers learning the wrong lessons from, you know, past projects.
Yeah.
Now we call them masochists there, James.
Though I guess it is kind of weird thinking about it, considering you got Sonic Rush afterwards, which I consider a very decent improvement, even though that kind of sparked its own issues that the fan base won't shut up about.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, Rush was definitely trying to be, like, comparing Rush to, like, the Advance Trilogy, Rush definitely was trying to, like, forge its own identity with what it was trying to do.
Kind of.
As well as gave birth to everyone's infamous...
I just saw it as like a natural improvement over the stuff they were already establishing with Advance 2 and 3, and then
Right.
just adding the boost to it.
Okay. What was that? And what was that, Mecha?
I was just saying, Lionel giving us one of the mechanics that everyone just loves to nitpick with.
Right.
Boost to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, though I mean, heck, it's a heck of a rush when you when you actually play it.
Yeah. And plus, like, in Rush's case, it was at least designed with, like, boost in mind. Like, the whole appeal of it is, you know, trying to go as fast as you can and trying your best to keep that speed up. Like, not entirely dissimilar to, like, the appeal of the classic games, but it's much more pronounced in Rush.
Right, it's like a roller coaster ride, which is, you know, something I can also say once we go back to Advance 2.
Well,
Goodbye, Chow.
I was about to say, what was that Chow doing there?
If you manage to save the Chow, you get to continue.
Oh, that's neat.
Oh, just in case.
Huh, thought it was a ring bonus.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, this also began for people who enjoyed playing the Sonic Adventure Director's Cut. This also led to some of the integration of this had its own portable Chow Garden.
Yep, the Tiny Chow Garden, which in Advance 1's case, it was there right from the get-go.
Actually, wasn't it Sonic Adventure 2 that a battle that was started?
I mean, if we're gonna go into semantics about the Chow Garden in general, that all started with the very first Sonic Adventure.
Yeah.
Well, I know it started there, but it's like, I'm trying to remember what came out first on the GameCube.
Oh, on the GameCube, it was Adventure 2.
Adventure 2 Battle, yes.
Right.
Oh, okay, yes, apologies, yes, about the Link
Which
cable.
came out roughly around the same time as Advance, so take that for what you will.
That's fair. Then yes, you're right.
Wow.
Yes, technically, Adventure 2 Battle was the one that first had those link cable stations that could allow you to, you know, link your tiny Chow to the, you know, regular Chow and vice versa. For people who want to take their child care for on the go.
Which, you know, it was a nice little novelty for what it was worth.
Yep.
Yeah. Like the Chow Garden's cute. I don't get people that say that's the only reason to go back to the adventure games, but, you know, I appreciate it for being the novelty it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-oh. The big boy stomper. Nice thing you do.
Hey, Sonic, how do you like my little... man, I'm trying to remember, like, I know there's a toy... You know, no, I remember now. Hey, Sonic, how do you like McDonald's toy?
Oh, that one.
Ow!
Well, I guess I can't enjoy it anymore because somebody broke it.
Hey, man, aren't you a little too old to be playing with big kids' toys like that?
Aren't you a little too...
You're a little too old for it.
I was trying to come up with some dumb joke like, aren't you a little not dead to shut up or something like that. Anyway, Casino Zone.
Like, the only thing that I can immediately think of with that, hopper contraption is, like, you remember those old, like, Mario 3 McDonald's toys, and one of them being Mario with the, the spring shoes?
Oh!
I do not doubt its existence, but I don't remember coming across that myself.
That does sound familiar.
I mean,
to me.
mind you, this was, like, back in the 90s, so, like...
I mean, that's also fair.
This is, like, before our time.
No, that does sound familiar. Off the top of my head, whenever I think of McDonald's toys, the first ones that come to mind that I ever, like, had were, like, the ones that Defunct Land covered, like the one, like the ones that were, like, based on Disney movies.
Or Warner Brothers movies, because I could have sworn I remember Space Jam had McDonald's toys.
They may have. I just remember, like, and again, Defunct Land covers this, is that McDonald's and Disney used to have, like, a big partnership and stuff back in the day.
I definitely remember the Disney ones, it's just I could have sworn there was also some Warner Brothers ones as well.
Fair. But no, it went way back. They had McDonald's in the theme parks everywhere. In like, original Disneyland, they had the McDonald's stuff.
Right.
And then that went away, which... On one hand... Whoa, we're in the foreground, that's right.
On like that, maybe we went a little too far down.
We'll be okay.
Because most of the special springs you'll find in this game are usually on the top paths.
Aw.
Yeah.
To reward precise platforming.
And I forget in the case of Casino Paradise if it's in Act 1 or Act 2 specifically.
I could look that up.
Go for it.
But, I mean, off the top of my head, like, as someone who, like, likes McDonald's french fries and stuff, I remember that being such a fun little convenience was you could actually have them in Disneyland, like, if you're watching the nighttime shows of Fantasmic and stuff, you could, like,
I love Fantasmic.
You could get an order of McDonald's french fries, just fresh, fried, baked, whatever, right there, and, bam.
Apparently, actually,
those were the days when the actual Disneyland food actually tasted worth a damn.
Yeah, those were the days back when those were the days where you couldn't be morally judged to order something from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And not have them stab your pockets for it.
Correct. I mean, I'll say right now, Disneyland, Disney Park Foods, it's getting better. I wouldn't say the fast, quick service stands are any better, but, like, the sit-down restaurants, much better.
That's good.
Oh my god, they had this thing at Walt Disney World that I had last year that was just so amazing. It was at this place called I think it was called the Platinum Horseshoe Review or something like that. It was basically like their country western, like, they would sometimes have, like, a musical performance or something being done there, like a review show, and genuinely their food, it was the same as the Liberty Tree Tavern Inn or whatever just next door. Basically, imagine all you can eat orderings of Thanksgiving food, like chicken, garlic mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, beans, ham. And literally, it was like I think it was like a $40 per person thing, but it was literally like you go in, you order the plates, and then whenever you're done eating, whenever you finish the things in front of you, you tell them what more you want, and they bring it.
Hey, well, you may as well just proceed to clear it.
Yep. And later, after a food coma was had, I remember not liking the stage. And later, after a food coma was had,
I'll forget it.
That's fair. And later, after a food coma was had, it's just like bam, like just settling and relaxing. All right, so
I was going to say it was in Act 1 that the spring was in.
Yeah,
I figured.
Oh well.
But it's funny that Ice Mountain has 2 of them in each of the acts.
Right. It's like the one exception because in total there's only like 6 main zones, and then there's the final zone, which is pretty much your usual final Eggman fare.
Yeah.
Unless we think we didn't decide.
I mean, honestly, I feel like Since you are playing like a completed save file anyway, I'd say like we probably shouldn't make like emerald hunting like a massive priority because we already have the final stage unlocked anyway.
It ain't, but if we happen upon them. But yeah, looking at
It's
it
one
right...
of those things where I want to at least show that, hey, you know what? I can't say I didn't make the effort.
For sure. So, looking at ahead... Also, this one's a meh one.
Right, because it's not just Eggman you gotta worry about, but also his fake double.
Spiky Boy. Whoa.
And unfortunately, unlike Sonic 3, Sonic's Insta-Shield isn't exactly a shield per se, it just extends his hitbox.
Yeah. And you don't really bounce back from it, bosses.
That neither, yeah.
It's a lot. That and I would say that because of the reduced size of the screen and/or how zoomed in it has to be for the portable hardware, it is a lot easier.
Thank you, Tails.
Thank you, Tails.
Thanks, Tails.
It is a lot easier.
I know I had you here for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot easier to lose your rings and be without one for a boss.
Especially when he's going faster.
There you go.
Yeah.
As a heads
Man, I bet all my chips on that there contraption.
up, next time you better learn to bet it all on blue,
Gambling's no good, kids.
unless you win. You bet on me.
In which case, it's A-okay.
And sponsored. No, anyway. So yeah, basically, just looking up ahead for you. Besides this one that has one on each stage, Angel Island has it in Act 2.
That one's honestly pretty easy to get to, so I should be okay there.
Yeah, so that's about it.
Oh, that's right. That's another thing I almost forgot. When you're playing as Sonic, if you double tap right or left while you're in midair, you can do this little air dash.
Oh.
Huh.
I know that kind of gets evolved in Advance 2 for like their little trick system.
Yeah, and it's honestly that one move that the game never really tells you about unless you look it up in the manual. And Sonic kind of needs it for one particular boss fight, otherwise it's utter borderline horseshit.
You know what? That would explain why that eventual boss was such bullshit. Because I never knew
You know
about
what?
the air
I
dash.
kind of lie there because another thing that the game doesn't immediately tell you about with that boss fight is that you can actually invert gravity.
I didn't know that either. Also, whoa.
But that's something we can save for another time. Meanwhile, I gotta find me some air.
Yeah. Oh,
There it is. Thank you, Tails.
Thank you for not taking it from me.
Can that actually happen?
I'm pretty sure it can happen.
I mean, like,
Oh,
because that
Lord.
happens in 2 and 3, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And we all are so thankful for them being there.
Heck, you could be the jerk and just steal. You can steal his air bubbles.
Let him see what it feels like.
Don't worry, he's an NPC. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. What's an NPC? I can't do a freaking Gummy Goo impression right now.
No, you're fine.
I've said.
Wait, what?
Poor Gator.
Spoilers.
If you play through this level as Knuckles, he glides super normally, but he can also swim. And actually, he has a unique ability of being able to drift on the surface for a little bit.
Oh. Like he freaking skipped like a rock.
Not exactly that. More so like he actually remembers, oh wait, I can swim, which means I can literally stick my head above the surface.
Oh. That's helpful.
And then drop down whenever you feel like.
That's actually helpful.
Yeah.
Yes, hey.
Just going back to the Gummy Goo thing is, I want to see if anyone's made a version of it, but I kind of want to do a take on that where when Kane snaps him away, it instead of just the confetti explosion, it's like the explosion like from Smash Brothers when you take a character's stock or whatever.
Oh. Something would make it a lot more violent.
Jesus.
Careful.
I know around here, if there's a whole like a wheel system for these platforms, then you're pretty much close to the spring.
Oh boy.
It might actually be around here.
So I'm on.
Yep, there
another...
it is. It was up there.
Shall we whoa. And luckily I brought my bungee cord.
Boing.
You could have just fell down
One
from a
more
cliff.
Actually, it was right here.
Probably better if you just got to the top. There you go.
There.
Whee!
Again, I'm not proud of doing stuff like this, but at this point, we're taking the piss out of this playthrough.
We're chilling and we're showing off the game. That's all that's
We're chilling like anti-villains.
That's all you do. That's all you gotta worry about.
Wait, what's
No
anti-villain?
sweat. Anti-villain, like the massive Shadow the Hedgehog babysitter looking after classic and regular Sonic in Sonic X Shadow Generations.
I mean, you say that, you could just outright say Sonic and Shadow the Hedgehog, because that's essentially what he was.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
By proxy, Shadow was the protagonist. So by that proxy, Sonic could be like, honestly, it really depends on what you feel like. He could be an anti-villain, or he could just be a straight up ally.
Yeah.
I'm very curious how that's gonna play out because Shadow, I forget what he was really doing in the plot of Sonic Generations besides just trying to figure out his own plot for things.
Well, I know he was a boss in Generations.
Right, and he was like, I don't know how I got here, but I'm gonna kick your sorry ass straight to the Ark.
And then he gave us the most important, piece of, confident, motivation we needed of saying that we got this.
You got this, Sonic.
And he, along with everyone else, warning Sonic of homing attacks, or homing shots.
I gotta go back, because I'm positive I'm exaggerating this in my head somewhere, but I'm positive, he holds it for an awkward amount of time.
I don't think he's, he definitely stresses it, but I don't think it's, for an excessively long time.
Yeah,
Probably
it's about a
not.
second.
Okay.
And that was only the 5th Emerald.
Although it does make me really curious as to how exactly the expansion goes. And also a matter of, at the time of recording, they also announced that, similar to what we've gone with, Frontiers and pretty much a lot of the recent Sonic releases that we've gone for the past year or so, they're actually going to be releasing an animated short to promote the Generations port focusing on Shadow, and it has Maria in it.
Yep, who is now being voiced by Sailor Moon of all people.
You wanna know
Yes.
who's animating it?
Who?
The Rise of the TMNT animators.
Well, it's one of them, because it's not Flybark themselves, but it's a studio that collaborate with them on TMNT.
I'm stoked to see what can be done with that. Also, this is I'm gonna say this a lot. Again, bosses are not my favorite part of these advanced games. This is one of them.
This boss is only really bad with Sonic because he doesn't have an easy enough way to actually, breathe beyond the ice stalactites.
Fair.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully the stalactites don't hurt.
I mean, you got Tails who can swim all the way up, that's fine. And then you got Knuckles who, if he's lucky, he can actually breach the surface and
Oh boy.
go back up, hover above. Oh, this is not meant well.
No!
I mean, hey, a victory's a victory, I'll take it.
And as you saw there, that can be its own problem. Is if you're trying to reach for the surface and Eggman gets in your way, literally your success can bop you right back down.
Yep.
Right. He just does. Again, Sonic just has the worst luck with water.
Also,
I mean, imagine there were... Oh, good. You go ahead.
You see it a little bit, whenever he's in, the Diego Mac regular, but, in those, and in this one in particular, really highlights the fact that Eggman must be some kind of contortionist, considering that, he can barely fin these double-damned things if you take into account how tall he's supposed to be.
True. Oh. Nice. Those are some good hits.
Oh. That ring?
I'm gonna try something here.
Okay.
There you go. Thanks, Tails. I knew exploiting your AI would pay off.
Is there any way to trigger him to do certain actions, or?
Don't think so.
Yeah, just pretend you're playing as Tails with a 1 second input delay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So now that that's out of our system, let's take a trip to Angel Island.
Wait, what are you doing on my island?
It ain't once.
Just say it's even the same Angel Island.
I tells you once, I tells you again. You can't be on my island.
Not without my permission, anyway. And I'm pretty sure I didn't give you mine.
For the last time, Sonic, I don't want to have a guy's night.
Oh, come on, Knucklehead. It'll be fun.
Say that with the same tone of, for the last time, Sonic, I did not order a giant trampoline.
Well, you know, Knucklehead, you could have told me that before I set up.
Because it was coming up in my, because it was coming up in, because it came up in discussion in the Demon Souls session I was editing recently again, the bit of the Dune director, whoever, who was claiming that, you know, writing is not important to any movie, like, no movie is good because of its, like, scripts, because of other things. I'm like Emperor's New Groove just, like, has so many moments that are just, like, the writing is, like, peak for me.
Yeah? Like, it was just comedy gold that was horribly underappreciated upon its release.
Yeah.
And practically, like, survived death after the freaking, the Hotbox, you know, documentary.
Oh, the Sweatbox, you mean?
About. The Sweatbox, documentary explained.
But yeah, like, honestly, like, it just really, like, between the fact that, you know, I love their work, I love his work in Emperor's New Groove, I love their work in Cat's Out Dance, I'm really hoping that Garfield movie turns out pretty good. Like, I've heard it's gotten, like, decent reviews so far at the time of recording, but I'm hoping it does turn out to be very good. Like, I imagine, like, if nothing else, it sounds like it could probably be, like, the best Garfield movie we've gotten, which, considering the other ones, isn't saying a whole lot, but hey, I'm at least hopeful.
Take the victories while you have them, Garfield fans.
It was one of Bill Murray's last regrets in death.
He didn't die, though.
Ha, Zombieland.
I got it. Okay, Zombieland joke there. Spoilers, I guess, for a movie that came out a long time ago. Bill Murray appears in Zombieland, like, just straight up, like, they just visit Bill Murray's house in the apocalypse. And his tactic to survive the zombies was, as an actor, he just pretended to be a zombie, and the zombies didn't pay him any mind. Like, he had the makeup and everything, except the act worked so well that some other survivors that visited accidentally mistook him to be a zombie and shot him.
Yeah. And while they were watching Ghostbusters, too.
Yeah, they were watching Ghostbusters, like, reliving all his classics. And then he stormed into the theater, they shot him, and he's like, no, it's totally, I totally get it, just means the acting was that good. And they ask him, like, do you have any regrets? I don't know.
Garfield,
Garfield maybe, and that's it.
Damn.
Oh no, he notoriously hated that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Like, it's one of those things where he was kind of lied to about what kind of movie he was going into.
Sort of, yeah.
That was the John St. John.
Like, I don't know if it was, like, outright lie, but it's, like, the story I've heard. I don't know if it's still accurate, but, like, he only joined because he mistook the name of one of the directors and thought it was a Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah, but it was actually Cohen with an H in the middle. Then from there, you know, cheesy, hokey, you know, baby's day out kind of humor, and he's just... And quote-unquote, he's trying his darndest to make the script better whenever he has the opportunity to, but it was... Yeah, no, that didn't work out. The second movie was 100% his fault for agreeing to do a second movie.
Yeah.
I'm really wondering if that was an instance of that he was just contracted to be in both of them, because that seems to be how a lot of movies work. They'll have, like... Some people will have, like, a bunch of movies planned in advance, and when you sign a contract for one, you're inadvertently signing a contract for multiple films.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But I guess it also depends on, like, how far apart the two movies were.
I think they were, like, 2 years apart, because I know Tale of Two Kitties came out in 06.
However, I also will state that, like, I give flack to Bill Murray, but John Cleese, one of my favorite Monty Python actors, also was in Tale of Two Kitties.
Wait, who was he?
He was the guy who wanted to, if I'm correct, he was the one who wanted to murder the cat and, you know, get everything. And, like...
Oh, no, that's Bill Connolly.
That was Bill I'm checking then. You're maybe right, actually.
Though, to be honest, I wouldn't put it past John Cleese to be in a movie like that.
Let's see. Oh! Yeah, no, that was Billy Connolly. For some reason, his delivery... Oh, you know what? Okay, I've seen a younger photo of him. He does actually kind of look... He looks like he could be... He actually looks like he could be John Cleese's brother, I'm not gonna lie.
I can see that.
His identical twin.
Like, slightly fuller face. Of course, he got the mustache and goatee, but, like, the eye... Okay. It was something to do with his delivery of, the cat just won't die! Like, as he's, like, exacerbated in the final act.
Yeah.
But, Fair enough.
You guys may be thinking, this is horribly irrelevant for a Sonic playthrough. Remember that one time where Sonic and Garfield were actually packaged in a whole bundle deal together?
They were. Oh, because
Those
the
were the
frickin'
days.
My lord.
Yeah. Also, like, another fun thing that it just dawned on me, because I know we're gonna eventually start that marathon whenever we feel like it, but Billy Connolly, that main villain, he's also the guy that voices the squirrel in Open Season.
Oh yeah, McSquizzy.
I still haven't seen that movie in full.
The first film is harmless enough. We don't talk about the sequels.
The sequels were 100% the the licensed shovelware. Like, think of it like your Hoodwink 2.
Also, behold, another special spring.
Yay!
Yay!
Again, this one honestly isn't too hard to find. And if I play my cards right, the last one shouldn't be too hard to find either. Though getting the Emerald on said special stage, that's another story.
Well, like, cause like now I'm looking at like straight up like, how to put this? Maybe it's not like, maybe it wasn't the hardest to like find, quote unquote, but like, ironically in the very first. Oh, nice. Ironically, in the very first stage, that one was it's the hardest to reach as Sonic, where like making a blind jump that's entirely dependent on the cycle of a platform, like if it will be
Right.
in the position you need it to be.
Like, that's one of those games where they probably expect you to replay that level with that knowledge. Dang it, not enough rings.
Man.
By Sonic. Whoa!
I'm gonna crash!
Ah!
Eh.
Well,
This was the screen that I was greeted with
Man,
way too many times.
we totally missed that emerald. Look at our lack of an emerald on there.
I know, right? Like, look at the lack of our freaking ring pops without rings.
What am I going to do with now I'm only gonna need one extra finger to hold all of the rings that these emeralds will go on. How am I going to have 7 rings in hand now?
You know, it's funny you guys were making that joke, and I just can't help but think back to the Sonic Takeover, where it's like Knuckles and Eggman actually took the time to lick the emeralds.
Alright, to see what they taste.
I need someone to sulk to. Oh, hey, Knuckles. What? Knuckles!
I have the yellow gloves, this means that this is my Looney Tunes arc of rebellion.
I know that he was about to hit us with the Superheat Mega Tech.
Also, did you do something different with your fur?
Oh!
Oh, it was a fake!
This is actually one of the I want to say up to date, this is actually one of the most like highly teched robot like duplicates that Eggman has made to date.
Also, I just noticed, like, it's very brief, but he actually vomits rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like somehow he's able to fit those into his big maw.
Wow.
And also, this is where that Knuckles came from in the Scrapnik aisle.
That's right!
Oh.
That was from this game.
Oh my gosh.
Small world.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
Speaking of
welcome
small
to
world.
the final zone of the game. Egg Rocket / Cosmic Angel.
Yep.
Well, first we actually have to get to Cosmic Angel itself, because the Egg Rocket has just launched, and now we're under a pretty lax time limit.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the upper left you'll notice, now the normal clock is now replaced with an outright timer, and that
Oh.
if you don't make it through, is that just like any rocket, it's going through various stages of launch, and at those various stages, parts of the rocket break off in order to, facilitate, travel. And those stages of the rocket can be having you on them if you're not fast enough.
Yeah.
Also be mindful, this place has pits. Lots of them.
Many
Yes.
pits.
A flying rocket having pits. Who the hell knew?
I hate pits. This is one of my least favorite. I remember this is one of our least favorite stages in Sonic 1, and the one thing we didn't like in Sonic CD is enough with the pits.
I hate pits. They're rough, coarse, and it's
Wait.
everywhere.
CD had a pit?
Sonic CD had one level that had a pit, which is literally the final stage. It was like
Oh,
a big
that's what
jump
you
you have to make, and there's
I was about
one.
to say, it's like, there's hardly any other pits besides the one at the final boss.
and we love that game for it.
And it's sad too, because that pit is probably the worst fucking obstacle in the entire game because of how much shit they put on top of it.
Whoa.
Agreed.
Yeah, but to be fair, it's like it was also the final level, so if you didn't quite understand the level mechanics at that point, suppose that's kind of on you, champ.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, another thing that this level's unfortunately very guilty of: spike placement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
And
this
as you're
is...
noticing, Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the stage where a lot of Dimps' more unsavory level design mentalities start to seep in.
Well,
Right.
another main thing you may have noticed, if you're like, deja vu. Yes, it's because of the stage being very vertically stacked. It is very possible to end up falling back down into earlier stages of the level, which, again, in a normal stage, not a problem, but with a time limit attached to it, a little more obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Hey, whoa.
Not gonna lie, I thought that was gonna kill you.
Thank God.
Man, wouldn't that be dumb if it did?
Alright, here we go.
Given Dimps, it would have been a possibility.
Yeah. Shame they don't follow the same logic as the sequels, where you could literally touch them from anywhere and they'll pop.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
Even when you're just running.
Alright, and... Okay, we should be getting to the next stage, hopefully soon.
We should be.
Yeah, this should be it.
And here
There
we
we
go.
go.
There goes the whole rocket.
Rocket 1, dismantled.
Phase 1,
Yep.
disengaged.
That was close.
So better keep-
That could have been. We could have been Fried Hedgehog and Fox by now.
Yep, another 5 minutes given to you.
Fried
and off we
hedgehog with a
go.
side of fox.
You know, I'm surprised
Yeah.
they weren't already fried, given that they did fly by a booster earlier.
I also want to say that, like, freaking, I think when I was a kid, I was like, man, I think this is like one of the only times I ever saw like the levels actually use a robot that looks like Grounder.
Kind of.
Did we forget Sonic 2?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sonic 2.
And then that.
Honestly, I'd say this game actually does make him look a little bit more like a mole than the original Grounder did.
Yeah.
And then that little flying thing that you broke that shoots at the purple projectiles. As a kid, I always thought he looked like Zero from Sonic Adventure 1.
Could kind of see it being in his head.
I
It's
mean,
like,
like,
yeah.
Actually, funny you bring up Zero. He does return for Advance 2.
Huh.
yeah, he's in the special stage.
Oh.
Yep.
As weird as that is.
Assuming you're playing any other version besides the vanilla version of the game, you're probably never going to see him.
Aw.
Yeah, because
Oh, did they remove him in re-releases?
it's
No,
not.
more like no.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Neka.
I was just going to say, it's like the process of getting to the special stages is certainly a lot trickier than the ones in this game.
Oh no.
Right. Again, like Sonic
What?
Advance 2 was unfortunately the catalyst for really, really absurdly high requirements just to even reach the special stages in the first place.
Yeah.
Which the
Like with
Go ahead.
in Advance 2, you had to collect in the base Advance 2, you had to collect 7 special rings in order to even and then take them to the goal in order to reach the special stage. And even then, I think in the default game there were exactly 7 special rings.
Yep.
It's just, again, like, fair enough. Like, okay, yes, sometimes it's uh-oh.
This could be a problem.
Oof.
And jump. There we go. Okay, please. A nice ring. A nice ring. Oh,
This
there's
rings.
one.
Oh, wait, I have to keep. Damn
Whoop.
it!
You know, what? Rewind
God.
it. Rewind it.
Fine,
Oh,
I'll rewind it.
Wow, we didn't even get to see the jingle where he just pops up.
But, you know, I'm kind of embarrassed that I fucking fell for this too, because that's total schmuck bait.
I mean, but it's close, and your momentum, and I don't blame you. Again, that had some of my least favorite challenges in had some of my least favorite challenges in this game. It took me a long time to beat this when I was a kid, just because of how the stages were. And even though I beat it with every character, I never was able to get all the emeralds.
Aw, that actually does remind me of something. It's not enough to just get all the 7 Chaos Emeralds to reach the final zone.
Oh?
Yeah.
You also have to beat the entire game with all 4 characters.
Oh, right.
And I think they each had to get their Chaos Emeralds.
Thankfully, no. This game was actually this game Chaos Emeralds are shared.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
goodness. Were later advanced games as generous?
not Advance 2.
Advance 2, no. Advance 3, yes, but that's only because the way that game handles its story mode is not quite like the classics.
Phase 2, disengaged.
Yahoo!
Yep. Now we're straight into space.
Now we are nearing the end.
We are nearing the end of our journey and the end of our oxygen supply.
Yeah, I don't know if this is ever meant to be like a Death Egg or just another big rocket thing he has.
It does lead up to his lair, which I believe the game called. I don't think they ever actually show what it looks like, but this is pretty much what leads us straight to the Cosmic Angel.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Or if it was just at the top of the rocket and it just
Whoa.
stayed in space.
We
You
have-
know,
Gotcha.
I
we have
don't
shifted
know why.
gravities.
I imagine if, for whatever godforsaken reason, they decide to toy with the idea of Eggman, like, wanting to date someone, like, one of his pickup lines would be calling someone his cosmic angel.
All I'm thinking of is freaking
That'd be more Bowser's shtick.
oh jeez, we're spreading up.
I mean, Eggman could be a Casanova if he tried.
We have given. Thank you.
In Bowser's case, that pickup line would only work with like one individual, and I'm kind of sick of that shit.
Whoa!
Ha,
Suppose that's fair.
But the money's good.
It was good. It was dirty money. But I mean,
Fair.
okay, Rick, mind you, it was kind of dirty money in the sense that I'm not the biggest fan of that shit, but at the same time, it was good when I kind of did need it at the time, so fair on his part.
Entirely fair. This is not judging him. Of all the things that there could be, it's not the worst.
I'm not so much judging him, I'm just judging his taste.
Because they have zero chemistry.
They really don't.
Like on screen, I've never seen them ever interact with each other ever. Now, I will say though.
I mean, Rosalina outright said in the freaking, like, when she was bringing up her whole monologue about the starship and its power source, it's like, the dude's a monster.
yeah.
Okay, not gonna lie, my brain was trying to click together as to what you guys were even talking about, but the second you said Rosalina, it's like, okay.
It's all
Yeah.
good. Let
have you
your
in here,
mind
Tails.
rest in innocence. And it's getting a little crowded here.
Sorry, Tails.
Alright, here we go.
Welcome to Cosmic Angel, Act 2?
Which I kind of dig this idea of, like, if that's the case, I kind of dig the idea of, like, he basically wanted to create his own, like, techno paradise version of Angel Island.
I don't know why you say techno, like techno rap. I don't know why the first thing that came up in my mind is freaking King Koopa's Coney Island Disco Palace.
Oh, no, I could do that, like,
That does sound like something that would happen in AOSTH. Like, Robotnik's Coney Island Disco Paradise.
cut to Eggman dressed up as Yensid from the Mickey short, like, in full disco, like, groovy fever.
With even more
Great.
generous...
Goofy Daddy-O!
With even more generous man cleavage, because that's how those artists were when it came to Eggman in that show.
And about an entire small indie team's budget of animated chest hair.
And every last inch of me is covered in hair.
That was an interesting accent there.
I don't know. Like, I had no idea how he would say that line.
Because I know exactly where the spring is, and it should be past that spike.
Nice. Oh.
She's
It
about
should
to
be.
stab you.
Oh, don't make a liar out of me.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like I was practically grinding this as a kid, and it was just like, you know what? Screw the 100%.
Again, it's the blind jumps because of how zoomed in the camera has to be, because we're we're in advanced mode.
You know what? I think I already did pass it.
Oh, well.
Damn it.
Yeah, I believe you did.
Ugh.
good.
I can't. You know what? Are the gaming gods trying to forsake me for literally using 100% save run?
No, I think again,
Are they trying to get on my case just because I technically did sort of cheat just to even get to them in the first place?
no.
I wouldn't
they're
say
on
that
your
she-
side-
Listen, you put in the effort for that 100% playthrough, so I'd say you're honestly scot-free.
Listen, it just speaks to me as a person just how
Uh,
fucking impatient I was just to even get to them, to the point where I did have to resort to using rewinds on occasion even just to reach them.
I would say after Sonic Advance 2, they owe you one.
I mean, like, that's no different than, like, how we've been using it for, like, some of the NSO stuff.
Again, I'd say after Sonic Advance 2, the god that they owe you.
Whoop.
So like, don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Also, this boss stinks because you have to thread the needle and get close enough to flip him without also taking damage.
yeah.
Oh gosh.
And the fact is I get to bounce right next to him to even make him flip after a bit.
Come on. Flip over, you son of a bitch.
Oh gosh.
Ring.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh!
Oh.
That was close.
Oh.
So now,
I was about to say, Floor?
You broke my disco ball! That was my favorite prop!
If that's a disco ball, I had to see what you actually danced under it.
X-Zone.
Yep, now it's time for the final zone of the game, where Eggman decides to go back to the 90s.
Bring it back to basics.
Really, Eggman?
I think there's a cute little homage what we'll be seeing here. So,
Yeah, this is before this is right around the time of, just before they were really starting to milk it to IL. And I mean, granted, this was released roughly around Sonic's 10th anniversary, so it makes sense.
yeah.
Stop trying
So we-
to,
oh gosh.
stop trying to take after Mecha Sonic, who copied after you.
Then we'll go back to Sonic 2.
So you thought they had enough of the car.
They even got the Dreams Come True guys' permission to actually bring back the songs that's attached to them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not.
Alright,
That's cool.
alright,
Even
so does
the
that mean we have to
art's the same.
fight the Sonic 3 first boss too?
Funny enough.
No, now you fight God.
He says, screw nostalgia, I'm just bringing out the Wheel of Morality.
That's not what the Sonic 3 boss looks like.
Welcome everybody to probably one of the closest times that Eggman ever got to just straight up being Dr. Wily.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, this is essentially just a straight up, egg capsule.
And there are a couple of moves that we're looking for to deal damage, and as you see, he can angle his He can angle Tails. He can angle his attacks in certain ways to just mess with you.
It's not the fact that he's adjusting his angle, it's the fact that it's just one of the 4 potential attacks he has.
Oh, isn't one? And from what you said, isn't one of them just a straight up insta kill?
No.
Oh,
Thankfully, he has no insta-kill moves.
I want to say one's a laser, one's a lobber that we've been seeing a lot.
Oh boy.
Another's a hand.
thank you, Tails.
Surprised he hasn't brought out the hand yet.
We'll give him ideas. The biggest problem, though, the biggest problem for me is how much health this thing has.
I mean, isn't it just that... Oh, there's the hand.
Easy ass back it.
There we
Oh.
go. The hand was your own undoing, Eggman.
You made a chump out of
Okay,
him.
the usual 8.
Oh, look at that.
Meanie.
Does that mean it's over?
It would be if I didn't have all the emeralds.
Yeah.
Look at that moon.
Because otherwise you don't get to see that at the end.
He's escaping for the moon. Oh,
Also, you hacked Sonic.
I'll pick you up later, Tails.
Okay.
I gotta go piss on the moon.
Temple Damon.
So what goes on the moon zone?
So, while you're supersonic in the moon zone, it's weird, how, you're still floating around, but it still treats itself by normal, supersonic rules, where you're not exactly flying around, but you're still, 2D platforming.
Okay. But now, how are we to deal damage to this thing?
I think we're supposed to hit him around the chest.
You have to blast him in the head, assuming he gives us the opportunity to.
Jesus.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, he's a little ruthless in this fight.
Nice. Okay. But at least you
But
can...
if you can time your attacks just right, it's also not too bad.
Okay. We gotta find a way to get more rings, though.
You primarily get them from these freaking capsule balls he keeps popping out.
But I think it's you have to get them before they encapsulate you.
Right.
There you
Okay,
are.
so there we go. Okay.
Pretty sure I'm not going to be able to finish this fight in one go, but you know what? I'm willing to take a chance.
That's assuming that the boost is kind.
Ah! I was
But yeah,
Okay.
that's the full extent of the fight.
I was kind of hoping that it would be 0 and then you get to, pick up a ring in time, but it's once it hits 0, it's immediate, you're done.
Well, that's how Doomsday Zone was anyway.
But it's you waste about 8 rings just to even get to this.
Yeah, and this is before Advance 2 would actually give you a multi-directional dash.
Yeah.
This is a wild looking Eggman now I'm looking at. This is the most humanoid of them I think I've seen.
Yeah, it's definitely not the marketable son of a gun that the Death Egg robot was.
We have Death Egg Robot at home.
This is what my dream bod looks like.
Well, he doesn't even have your mustache there.
Yeah. Yeah, as with any supersonic fight, its main strategy is to just waste your time.
Right.
Run out the clock and stall.
Stall! Stall! Stall!
I love how that really is just the way you describe it, just like the Eggman strategy against Super Sonic is just stall.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we saw what happened in freaking Sonic Unleashed. His ultimate plan was just run away.
Well, it's not like he really stalled out. It's just he didn't want
There
to
we go.
fight Sonic at that moment.
There you go.
And he's down for the count.
Got through extra.
Whew.
There you go, in under an hour. And the birds rejoice.
You don't wonder if he was okay up there.
Also, how'd you get down here, Tails?
Is this a skunk seated beside me?
A few days later.
Where is he?
Yeah, no, they literally spent those last few days trying to look for the guy, because he just suddenly didn't show back up. I mean, is he still stuck on the moon? It's going to be another cliffhanger a la Mega Man Legends 2.
Oh, there he goes flying by.
Oh,
Thankfully, no, this game's a little more generous than that, because that shining star that comes right back down to the planet,
almost.
of course, it's Sonic.
Sorry, I had to go. Got to grab a cosmic chili dog on the way home. Would you believe that the nearest rest stop was not for another 2 light years away?
Sonic, you're on the moon!
Congratulations.
You may be wondering, how did he store up all the rings just to even survive those couple of days?
Right?
No kidding, especially never was like the only way he could have gotten rings was popping those capsules.
Yeah.
Honestly, it'd be more believable if this was like within the span of like just a single day, but a several. I mean, that's almost as bad as the freaking 6 months nonsense in Forces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luigi.
Are we allowed to say that?
You're right, that game technically doesn't exist yet. But yeah, everybody, that was Sonic Advance. Not entirely the most true to form way to play the game, but I mean, again, this is mostly a chill playthrough. I kind of was just in the mood to replay it again. I actually did go out of my way to get all the emeralds off screen, even though, yeah, no, I'm getting old. I got shit to do, so that's why I'll just look up a guide, like look up those old like freaking Versus books from back in the day,
That's fair.
and just figure out where the heck those special springs are, and then go right to them, and keep on rewinding until I get to the path necessary to reach them.
It's tricky level design, and we don't got all those car rides, you know, to Grandmama's house to play these games on along the way. And
Grandmama.
I mean, it's weird because, like, I would say, like, freaking Sonic Advance 3, like, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles, like, you know, it's essentially the same thing that Advance does later on, where it's like they place the way to the special stages in very specific spots, and they can be just as obtuse, if you're not, unless you're, like, you know, replaying them to high hell. So that's kind of the same, like, game plan they're trying to ask of you here. But it's also, like, I haven't really touched this game in a while, and, sure, like, granted, yeah, no, I definitely, like, I remember when this game first came out, in 2002/2001, and it's like, I had to get this son of a gun, like, as soon as possible. I eventually did. I beat the game with all 4 characters, but I, again, never had the patience to get all the emeralds. And that's only something I decided to just do, like, very recently, because I figured, you know what? Life is short.
right.
It's worth trying at least once, even especially now that we live in a time where save states and rewind features are a thing. And I don't know, it just makes the process a little less tedious to work with.
So how long do you think it'll be until we get to see these on NSO?
I guess
Well,
that's your answer.
You know what, Logan? That's a very good question. That is a very good question. I guess it depends on how.
That's a very good question.
It depends on how much if THQ Nordic are in a good mood to collaborate with Sonic Team and Sega.
True.
Yeah.
It's like the one real stinking point as to why, aside from like that one time where Sonic Advance got re-released on the Japanese Wii U Virtual Console, these games have never had a port up since. And no, I'm not gonna acknowledge that Sonic N was a thing. Get that garbage out of here.
Get it out of here. Same.
But yeah, again, fun. It's a fun time, even with the whole, having to look for all the special spring nonsense and whatnot. Like, I wouldn't outright call it the apex of 2D Sonic, but it didn't really need to be. It's just fun overall. And I mean, it helps too that, you already have access to all 4 characters right from the get-go, each with their own unique playstyles, especially, newcomer Amy Rose.
Yeah. I really like that.
Which is also funny too, because, I'm pretty sure those that have watched this channel since forever know that I did do this. I did do a run of this game like ages ago with Amy, and I mean, I thought I had my fun there. But I figured it's. Yeah, no, I just decided to come back to it because we really had nothing better to do today, and well, it's kind of obvious that we're kind of in this big Mario and Sonic sort of like
Mood.
recording mood this year, what with,
Yeah.
Wonder and Sonic
Frontier.
Heroes.
Yeah,
and
Heroes,
all the other stuff we
Frontiers.
have left on the pipeline.
There's so many fun projects still coming along down the pipeline. Doug's still helping out to cover the Sonic games we refuse to.
Yeah, for real.
So it's great news for us.
Safer Spinball.
Yep, he plays it, so I don't have to.
You did Spinball just fine, don't worry, nigga.
I know, still.
But yeah, that all said, we hope you all enjoyed our little time with Sonic Advance, a little game for the Game Boy Advance, and we'll see you guys next time.
Take care.
Bye bye.